What's up, people? Welcome to this episode of the By the Hood podcast or webcast because I don't know how you're consuming this content. I'm your host as always. My name is Jimmy, and as we start off every show, that's with gratitude. Just want to say thank you to everyone and anyone who supports anything that we've got going on. Special shout out to all the students from By the Hood University, as well as the youth from the By the Hood Ownership Camp. We appreciate you all. I'm joined by my partner in crime, Corey. Corey, what's up, good brother?
What's going on? You know, never gonna complain about being alive. Every day above ground is a good day. How's everybody doing?
Listen, man. So everyone knows that our platform is designed to highlight brothers and sisters who look just like us, who are doing positive work, putting out positive energy, doing things to enhance the community. And this sister that we have with us, this is our sister. Listen, she is a member of our community, but she has created a business and is doing all kinds of positive work. We want to make sure that we give her flowers and highlight the work that she's doing. We have none other than our sister Chasity here. Chasity, how are you?
I'm good. Just a pleasure to be here.
All right, listen.
Look at
so, you know, I always tell you how amazing you are. You know, we talk every day, but the thing is, we want to make sure that we highlight you because not only have you become a master trader, but now you have your own consulting company. And, you know, you're doing an amazing thing teaching others because we get the feedback like, you know, Chas taught me this and Chas taught me that. So I think that, you know, it's imperative that we share your story and talk about what it is that you're building. So let's just get right into it. You know, not to take up too much of your time because I know your time is valuable these days. So with that being said, though, tell us about where you're from, where you're born and raised.
Well, I blocked it out for you guys. I'm done for the night teaching, but I'm from Memphis. I grew up in South Memphis. East Memphis was my home, and then I did my undergrad in Western Kentucky, and then I did grad school in DC. So I lived in Kentucky for 4 years, DC for like 6 years, and I ended up in Texas.
So in college, what were your majors in college?
Chemistry and biology.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah.
All right,
so yeah, I've been in like the math statistics area for quite some time. That was just my niche. My mom made sure I was in environments of schools or after school programs that cater to what I like. I like science. So I was at UT school writing and doing research with them during the summer. I made sure I went to every camp that I wanted to go to, and just everything that I decided to do, they supported me.
Oh man, shout out to moms. That's amazing, right? Laying the foundation for you. So You talk about biology and chemistry. That's not easy. So congratulations. Is that what your master's was into as well? Same field?
I actually, and most people don't know this, I have a PharmD, so pharmacy.
Okay.
So I have a doctorate. Everybody's like, what's Dr. Chas? Well, I got Dr. Chas while I was in pharmacy school. So I am a doctor. My title is doctor, but I don't like for people to just feel like I'm above them. So it's just Chastity. Most of my friends, when I was in school, they were just like Dr. Chas, and it kind of stuck.
Hey, listen, you earned that. From now on, I'm calling Dr. Chas, man. You got to listen.
When you get credentials, you earn them. You earned them.
Yeah, you earned that. Oh, you earned that. You know what I mean? Like you doctor. That's dope though. So I was going to ask you what kind of student you were, but I think that speaks for itself. That speaks for itself. So let me ask you this question, right? So coming up, you know, in the biology and chemistry, you know, we talked about you being a master trader now. Were you ever exposed to investing as a kid, or were you not exposed in the community?
I wasn't exposed to investing, but I knew the value of money early. My grandparents were like my first employers. They would let me come over, clean up. I would work, make money. They would tell me, you get straight A's, you get a 20 at the end of, you know, the 6 weeks or whatever. So that motivated me, but they made sure that money wasn't the power over me. They just showed me what you could get with the potential of having it, but it never controlled me. So it was just like the mantra, like money comes easy to me, and I was fine with it. And I just knew that I liked expensive things, and I needed a career that would give me that. No one ever exposed me to trading and showed me I could get that same lifestyle. I always knew I need to find. I don't play sports. I don't like being yelled at. I was like, so what else can I do? I want to be a doctor. I want to help babies. And then I was like, I don't want nobody pooping, peeing, or throwing up on me. So I did some shadowing, and I met a pharmacist in my 9th grade year. She had just done insurance for her home. She was young, black don't crack. She was stress-free, not married. House was gorgeous. I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. I was like, you don't touch nobody. Don't nobody touch you. Okay. And this was before like immunology and all of that came into place. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I want to do that.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about your journey from like there to getting exposed to like investing at a higher level as well as trading. How did that
Right.
come about?
That came well in undergrad. I actually entered into a stock market contest, and you got to trade with a dummy account. And this was my first, like, I had one economic class, got into this trading, and I received like the most prolific trader. I made the most trades. I didn't win. The people who were, I guess, traders or had a trader background, most of them won. They were more profitable. But I was literally like old school, reading the paper, looking at the tickers, looking at the percent change, and I would trade it and then sell it. And that was the last time I did it. Fast forward to 2020, COVID hit. I'm like, what can I do where I can just be sustainable and make money? And I started seeing people on my timeline, Diamond Dave, just everybody, Leslie, just showing me their trades and their receipts. I'm like, how they doing this? So I tried to go try to do it, set my account up, didn't know what options were. And I'm like, I made a trade today and I made $2. The stock moved $2 and they showing thousands of dollars. And I was like, how did they do it? So I stalked people for a couple of months, found the program, and that's where it all took off. Took the Abacus, took the course with Diamond Dave one-on-one, and I was hooked.
So let me ask you this question. You became very amazing so fast. Like, how much time did you put into studying for you to just have started then and to be where you are now?
Pretty much from May of 2020 to now. But I took pretty much all of 2021 back testing and trading SPY and trying to take signals, trying to find my rhythm, seeing the patterns, seeing the trends. Every Saturday I'm on Diamond Dave's stock market markup. Russell and Leslie did chart write-ups. Every time somebody had something free, I was there. When I had money to afford a class, I would take it. If somebody were doing a session, I would buy it and just learn more. Like I was just a sponge. I'd be up when my family goes to sleep, 1-3 o'clock in the morning, learning, watching videos. I was YouTube University, but I took the foundation I got by buying the courses, and then I would find specific videos and watch those to perfect what they were doing, not just being a consumer of just like everything on YouTube.
Got you. So you invested in yourself in terms of time as well as resources. Like, so you're willing to invest in yourself. So I think that's an important thing to like, kind of point out.
Yes, I tell people like they did that stimulus and most people went and blew it. I bought courses. I funded my account. I paid one bill. I bought the course and I funded my account. The stimulus helped me get here.
And you also talked about your back testing. That's just very, Lance is who's our sister, always talks about that's what gives her the advantage. She back tests everything.
Yeah.
So you went back and you back tested like for the entire year. So what did you learn about that process?
That was my process, and that's how I know like I can be successful in the trades. Once it repeats itself month over month, I was like, okay, that one's good. I can go with this in the trend. But I lost money. I got into DraftKings early like you did, but I didn't know seasonality. I didn't know IPO companies, or like Diamond Dave says later on, like most of them are gonna go down. That's just a natural nature. But I was just trading it momentum. You get a great couple of great hits, and then you don't have a story for it. You don't have the background yet. So you get those like lucky pops. And that's where it started with those lucky ones. And then the consistency, I made a trade plan. I listened, like again, Diamond Dave, throw out, get a trade plan, pick your power 5. And I started using that and became more and more consistent.
Yeah, shout out to Diamond Dave. That's our brother. He's been on our show before. We actually on his show coming up on the 1st of March, we're doing a live video. So that's gonna be fun. But it's a lot of things, a lot of places I want to go with this conversation, Core. But the first thing that I really want to talk about, right? So we talked about you investing in yourself. We talked about you back testing and all the time you spent to get better at what it is that you're doing. But the question I like to ask traders, right? And I don't know where you're going to go with this when you answer this, but what has trading taught you about yourself?
Ooh. I guess they always say, trading brings out your demons. And I'm not as patient as I thought I was. And the stock market will put it out. I'll jump the gun. My new T-shirt will be, I was not wrong. I was early. I'm always jumping the gun. I can be right and know when I'm supposed to enter. And I'm so antsy. I'm just like, I want in. I know where I'm supposed to be. And you can just be a little early and it'll kill your premium. But that's one of the things, the patience. I constantly work on patience.
Yeah, Corey, let me ask you that, bro. I never asked you that. What do you think trading has taught you about yourself?
I am exactly who I thought I am. Like I have
a gambling spirit.
Yeah, man. You know, I got a hustler spirit. Period, man. Like I can't stop. Right. So what I do is, you know, Jim know my thing. I'm willing to put a G on anything. Right. So like if I feel, you know, like I did the analysis and everything is supposed to do what it's supposed to do, I'm gonna put the money where it's supposed to go, and I'm gonna let it do what it do. And so I am actually very patient, right? Because I swing trade, right? And I didn't start day trading until I started. You know, I never traded off a chart until I started messing with y'all. Like I never even looked at the chart because I didn't. You know, I'll look at it because I can look at the options chain, and I can look at the fundamentals of a company, and I can tell you where it's gonna go. I don't need to look at a chart to swing trade, but for what's the name trading, for that day trading, being on a minute, 5 minute, 10, I'm like, damn, like this is crazy. Like, so, kudos to y'all in the community that got me to even look at a chart. You know what I mean? Because up until about a year ago, I never even looked at a chart because it didn't mean anything to me. You know what I mean? And and then I had chart people telling me, "You crazy? All that matters is price action." I'm like, well, the price action is on the options chain. It's on the options chain too. It's on your chart, but it's coming right off the options chain. So it all tied together. You just looking at you looking at one part of it. I'm just looking at a different part of it. It's the same thing.
Yeah. So real quick though, so it basically taught you you are who you already thought you were. So for the folks listening who probably have no clue what we're talking about. We're talking about trading, right? So trading stocks and trading options. And Chasity has become a master of that. And one of the great things about it is, like, we are a part of a community. We're in various groups and text threads and things of that nature. So during the course of the day, one of the advantages of not trading alone is, I'm talking to Chas, or I'm talking to Corey, or I'm talking to Dave. I talk to Dave. Like we talk to a lot of folks who are traders, and we're like, what you're looking at or what you're doing and things like that. So the one thing I like to put out there for people listening or watching this is, don't trade alone, right? Because you don't have to, right? And I'm not saying that you have to come be a part of our community or anything like that. I'm not selling anything, but just understand that there is power in that, right? And I'm bringing that up to say this in terms of what you learn about yourself, right? I'm always preaching to people about like being patient, learning when to walk away. Man, I had a moment today, y'all. Like, so I'm trading the SPY today. I smacked that thing 3 times. I cashed out 3 times, and I was telling Chas and Corey, I'm like, yo, I got a demon on one shoulder, like, SPY think you sweet, go get some more money. Then I got the other one telling me like, yo, you made enough, just get away. So one of the things about trading, and I know Chas, you'll co-sign this, it's more mental than anything else, right? Did you agree with that?
Definitely. I tell people all the time, like, we form a personal relationship. I'm not just here to show you how to trade. I'm going to be there psychologically. We're going to look at Monday through Friday, how well you trade on those days. What's your best day to trade? And that's what we're going to hone in on. Because if you had a bad weekend, your boyfriend or girlfriend made you mad, it's nothing we're going to do that week. Like, you're going to come in here aggressive. You're going to push trades too hard. They're not there. So you got to have your mental in check to come into these markets.
Yeah, and I just want to put out for the folks watching this that, like, to tell you how, like, Chas is the real deal. Like, we've seen her results, and it got to the point where Corey and I got together, and we booked Chas for a consult. And Chas showed me something in that consult a couple of weeks ago, and I've been able, since that consult with Chas, and and this is not investment advice, and she didn't ask me to say this, and it's not a commercial, but I have to say this because it's true. These are facts, and I've shown the receipts. We talked to her on a Sunday a couple of weeks ago. Since then, I used the information that she gave me, and I've made on the minimum $115 every day with the information that she gave me in probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. We said on the phone, like, and I'm like, I was telling her, I'm like, I got to get you on the pod because I'm not the only one that you're sharing information with, but this is very powerful. And also she's an excellent teacher. So you started Know Better, Do Better. That's like your consultant. I like the name too, Know Better, Do Better, right? What was your goal in starting Know Better, Do Better?
The goal, I didn't really have one. It kind of formed out of itself. You can ask Lenore and everybody else. Once I learned how to trade, I even told Diamond Dave, I don't want to teach other people. I'm going to learn. I'm going to get my money, and I'm going to disappear like other people do. I don't want to teach people. They lazy. They're hard headed. You got to beg people to try to learn. And I was like, I'm not going to teach nobody. And once I got it and it clicked for me, I was like, I gotta go tell somebody. And I went and told my best friend. She went in, she pulled 2K out, first time trading. I gave her a couple of sites to look at. She did the homework, like when we weren't talking, went and watched a couple of videos, and boom, she was able to, break away. And we do things together. Like if she comes on something, she tells me. If I come across something, we work together. So once she got it, then I started telling more people, and it's like, okay, so how much you charging? I didn't have a range. I just started taking money, and I'm like, okay, well, it's more attention. This is getting bigger than I thought it was going to be. So now I got to come up with a name. Now I got to do a business. I got to make plans for this and do it appropriately. And I, stayed on the name, something that was going to resonate, something that was going to encompass something for the long term and not just be solely trading or just in the market, but it really is know better, do better. I came across a lot of stuff like what's going to resonate. I let it marinate. I prayed about it. And that was just the thing that came to me. Once we know better, we can do better. And until you teach somebody, we don't call them dumb or stupid or you're not there. It's just until you know better, how else can you do better?
Yeah. And, just being honest, right? So it's a cheat code to teaching because when you teach, you actually become better at it, what you're doing because you have to in order to teach. But then the cheat code, like from a student standpoint, is a student and a teacher, you're creating a network, and that network has power because if people are able to follow through, you guys can look at trades and possible investments together, and there's power in that too. So, but that's dope though. So, like me and Corey have been singing your praises and sending everybody to ask us your way. Like, go talk to Chaz. Go talk to Chaz.
I appreciate it. Like people are just coming, and I want to help them. And I had to find a niche. Again, listening to Diamond Dave on Saturdays, he talks about the game and lacing people with the game. And people want to create businesses and they throw these playing, hey, 50K, be an entrepreneur. And I was like, I don't want to be an entrepreneur. That's not me. I just wanted to trade. But once I decided to do the business, I took those key gems that he dropped. And it's like, there's 1,000 different YouTube channels. There's 1,000 different courses. What are people doing? What are people not doing? And what do people need? Well, people are not teaching people one-on-one anymore, or it's not affordable when they do teach it one-on-one. So let me make something affordable that doesn't take up my time so I control that. I set my whole calendar. You can't just come schedule willy-nilly and don't show up and stuff like that. I set the time frame where I'm okay with teaching you, and I set it at a price that I'm comfortable that I think my time is semi-worth. It's worth way more than what I'm charging, but I put it as something I think is affordable. And I think if you're not quite there yet, I tell people, let's do the free consult. Let me see where you're at with your budget before you pay me. Don't come and pay me something and you don't have any money to trade with. We got to get you on a plan. Hey, save $50 every week or every 2-week paycheck. Build that up. Have money to trade. Have money to pay for your session. Then we'll work together.
Yeah, and that's fire because I see that your students are having results, and that's kind of. So let me ask you this, right? Along this journey of becoming Dr. Chaz to now being a master at trader, I assume that some of the lessons you got from biology in terms of studying data has kind of helped you in this journey. Would that be correct?
Yes, it made it easy to read charts and statistics. So it's not gambling anymore for me. I don't tell people you're taking proper risk management and I keep you in the risk safe zone. I tell people already, once you come in the first session, we're no longer traders, we're capital managers. Well, I'm teaching you everybody wants to claim to be a boss, but can you manage money? You can't do anything if you can't manage the money and you can't take proper risk. You can't take profits appropriately. So I already come in with the mindset we're going to control the money. We're going to watch this. And then I ask them where they at. Can you read charts? Can you read data? What can you do? Let me meet you where you're at and get you where you need to be. But for me, all that data, correlation, making charts, making graphs, I did all of that before. So that came natural and easy. to watch the chart, look at the levels, manipulate those. Using the tools for the charts, that kind of came along with like just sitting in more sessions, going through consultations, or anybody pull up and have a session. I'm coming. Let me see how I can mark a chart up appropriately. And Lance offered a couple of free sessions, and she wasn't on social media for a while. And I hit her up, and she was like, "No, I don't teach like that no more." And she came back, and as soon as she did a session, I was there. I was like, "I'm first one. I'm booking. Show me how to use Thinkorswim. Show me how to use the tools." And I was there.
Yeah, shout out to our sister Lance, man. So like the entire network is fire, man. Dave is fire, Lance is fire, and and you're amongst the legends within there as well, Chaz. Let me ask you this though: what has been the biggest hurdle, right, that you had to overcome to get you to where you are now as an excellent trader? What do you think is your biggest hurdle?
I don't think it's just one. You come and find different things because.
Well, give me a couple then. Give me a couple.
I'll say, you get with consistency. So that's your main thing, being consistent. So you run the play, and sometimes you're hard-headed and you don't stay with the plan. It's trade the plan the trade the plan. And when you get away from that, you can only, kick yourself in the butt when you don't do it appropriately. So that's one of my drawbacks. I'll go outside of my plan to trade something or trade a signal somebody's giving and it doesn't go right, but I didn't follow the plan and that's it. So I see that when I make those mistakes, I journal it and just say, hey, you didn't follow the plan. You didn't take profit when you were supposed to. But that's another thing within itself, being truthful with yourself on why your play didn't go well and not trying to prove. And that goes back to my science background. I go with the hypothesis for the trade. What is, how will this trade play out? So will this go up to this certain dollar amount or come out? It's never, am I trading to win or I'm trading to be right? We're just trading to prove the hypothesis. If I'm proven wrong, that's fine too. We just want to know why. So even when my students come and they say, oh, I had a bad trade. Why did you have a bad trade? What was bad about it? It could have been a good trade, but the market turned against you. Data came out. CEO cheated on his wife or something. It could be beyond your control. So know those things so you're not beating yourself up around each trade. And that's it.
You said something that I felt like you were talking to my spirit, right? Because you have a trading plan. And first of all, you introduced me to probably my new favorite indicator there is. I'm not going to mention what it is because you guys got to, you got to find it out later. But it's my favorite indicator by far right now, by the way. Like everything I used previous, I barely look at anymore. But I say that to say this, and using that indicator and watching it, I know the setup. And it's almost like I feel like I'm cheating because anytime something falls right within the setup, it always works. It only doesn't work when I'm trying to get in early and not really wait for it to fully set up. Like I'm going against it. Anytime I go against the plan, it never works. And yet somehow my brain is like, it's that devil in the brain. Like, you got it this time. Let's go ahead, get that money. So, Corey, you know what I'm talking about, bro.
Yo, I am the devil, so I know what you're talking about. Do it, Jim. Do it.
That's what the devil on my shoulder. I told you one looks like Corey and the other one looks like our brother Passive, man. Like that's who I got on my shoulders. But your point though, right? Anytime I go against the plan, it never works. But somehow I still every once in a while, not often, I'm known for my 30 run, but every once in a while, I don't know what it is. Like I just get stupid and go against it, and it never works. It never works. So that consistency is key, and I'm glad you brought that up.
I got that from you though. When you kept hollering the 30, I said that's the safe zone for my students. When they trade like smaller or slower moving stocks like Ford, that's where you get that 30% and be gone. Everybody's shooting for 100%. They've seen those receipts, and that's what they want. So this is why I show receipts that are modest sometimes. They're 50%, 17%, because you might not always get there. But $1 gain is more than what any 1% make. 99% of the world is not trading. They don't know how to do this. So if you know how to make $1 in this market, you beat the system. So
yeah, great point. That's an excellent point because a lot of times people, and we live in a culture. Let's be honest, where people are sharing crazy screenshots. A lot of them are lying anyway. But even with that being said, I always harken back to what people make at their job, right? So if you make $160 in the market every day, that's the equivalent. And shout out to Diamond Dave again.
$20 an hour.
What he said, what's Diamond Dave always say? This is the highest paid,
highest part-time paid.
Yeah, highest paid part-time job. I'm like, yo, you make $20 an hour and you work 8 hours, right? You know what I mean? Like you could do that in the market, like not trying to sound arrogant, but that's kind of easy to do. You don't even need an
minutes,
account.
5 minutes, a minute.
I've been doing that in less than an hour, like while I'm doing other work. Like it's just so that's why I like your approach too, right? It's not about just chasing and trying to like make 10 million or 10,000 every trade. It's like we're gonna keep hitting these singles, and you hit a bunch of singles, you still can go to the Hall of Fame. So we appreciate you doing that. Let me ask you this though, Chas. What is your favorite book or a book that's inspired you along this journey?
I haven't read a lot of books on this journey. I listened to some audiobooks, but
what's your favorite audio book? That's still reading.
Okay, so
no, it's not. Don't listen to
yes, it is, man. Actually, we have a term for it. It's called listening. When you read and you listen. But anyway, go ahead though. It's still a book. You still consume the content.
I'll go with the book that I like to read the most was when I was younger. The Coldest Winter Ever. So
you already know.
That's what got me into reading. So once I picked it up, I couldn't stop. I read a whole lot of books when I was in junior high, and then the audio book. I think it's like How to Persuade People or something like that. And it's like getting people to say so many yeses so many times to get there. And I picked that up for undergrad and graduate school. Like, how am I going to persuade somebody or sell them on something? Either my essay, my thesis, and I use that to kind of incorporate talking to students, talking to my family, talking to children, just incorporating that. I want you to understand, I hear you, I see you, and I got that from that book, because we always want to be right, and it's okay to be wrong. I always tell my kids, it's okay to be wrong. Listen to both sides. It's okay to be wrong, and it's okay for neither one of us to be right. But we heard each other out, and we understand our positions. At the end of the day, it is what it is, but we're not saying you're wrong and I'm right. We're just having conversations, or we're having a discussion about a decision that was made. So that's one of them.
Yeah, I'd rather talk about The Coldest Winter Ever though, because like Midnight was my guy. Like,
anyway. I was in love. Like I man, Midnight, and if you was not that next to Midnight was it. I didn't have many guys, and I'd be like, "You ain't Midnight."
You ain't Midnight.
Oh, man, that's amazing.
I mean, I had a couple other figures that came about. And I mean, at that time, again, before Midnight, I was in love with Bobby Brown. And so poor choices.
All right. So let me ask you this though. We see the impact that you're having in terms of helping others, and now you're producing other people who are amazing traders. And you got a lot of us who are already traders. A lot of us are jumping on to like taking your system, right? So I was telling you before we even came on, like I still do my regular trades, my regular swings, but you got me hitting singles every day while I'm waiting for everything else to cook up. So I got stuff on the crock pot, and I got stuff in the air fryer right now. So it's the mills is lovely right now. But what is the future for Know Better, Do Better? What are you trying to do with this platform you've created? What's the future look like?
For me, it's to continue to help people, and again, finding a niche. And my heart pulls on my upbringing. I had 2-parent household. My grandparents have been together, Black love. I didn't struggle. We were middle class. I had everything I wanted, needed. But there are people out here who don't have that. So those are the people I want to help. Single parents, single moms and dads, these kids that age out of the group homes and, into homelessness. I want to find something to help these people learn how to trade. You don't have to put on a suit and tie. You don't have to look a certain way to trade. And if I catch them, maybe that saves some lives there. These kids get thrown to the street, or these single parents struggle. And this is a way for them to have a part-time job, but still be there with their children. And it just came about like one night, and I'll just tell you, like around the corner from my house is a Subway, and it stays open to midnight. And the guy that owns it, his son is there with them every night. And it's like 11, 12 o'clock at night, and the kid's there up. And I'm like, if I could just reach him or other parents like that, you wouldn't have to have your kid at work, at these type of hours. You can learn to trade with just a couple of dollars and change your tax bracket, change your lifestyle. So that'll be the next step to, working with those that have less.
Okay. And by the way, one other thing I want to put out on the record though, like for the folks that are privy to our private mastermind, the MDC, we're gonna have Chas come through soon and be one of our teachers, right? Because that's how much
Dr. Chas.
Listen, Dr. Chas. Don't get it wrong. That's right, it's Dr. Chas. Like we're impressed with her system and what she does so much that, you know, we want to bring her in the fold and have her be one of our educators. We already got Russell Hughes, the educator, Passer, Tone, Spoon, myself, Corey, Jay. So like I said, the network is growing and becoming stronger. And Chaz, we want to make sure that we give you your flowers and also just tell you thank you for being a part of our community, but also not just keeping all the information to yourself because, you know, even though that's what you originally wanted to do, you didn't do it. And like, we're all better for it though. Corey, you had something you want to say, good brother?
Dude, I got two questions. One, how does your family feel about you making, you know, a partial transition away from the things you were doing into the trading realm?
That was they were initially not on board. It was kind of
I know that feeling.
I'm gonna say that quote, good luck with that.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say who said it, but it was good luck with that. And like I said, they were always supporting in the beginning, and it just took a lot to step away and just take on it wholeheartedly. And I just thought about like I have to live for myself. I only get one life. I don't get to come back and I don't know what I get to do, and they've lived theirs. So once you get outside of that part of who you're pleasing and please yourself, and long as you have that relationship with whatever higher being or God or source you have, and you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. And that took some time and growth and centering, you know, for myself that like, okay, I did this. I'm going to take a different direction. And that's what I'm going to do. And the more you show confidence in that, they have no choice but to be on board. So they're coming along, they're seeing the work that's happening. And now it's kind of like, so how do I get in and do this? Or how do I learn now? With the change, some of it was a disappointment. Some of it was just like they were confused, but I mean, it was still my choice at the end. I stick with it.
Nice. All right, and we also have another thing that we say here that marriage is the cheat code if it's done right. And I know that you recently married, so how does that affect what you do?
It hasn't. First, it was just like, okay, you're learning this, you're staying up, and that's fine. She's always been supportive of anything that I decide to do. And so now, at first, it was like she never wanted to trade. I mean, she didn't know anything about it as well. But I put a post up. I mean, you know, you hit the home run when the wife want to learn. So now she's and most people thought it was about somebody else or other people's wives. And I'm like, no, my own wants to learn. And that was just, you know, they always say women are the best traders. So I want to see more women trade. I want to see more of us collaborate. Like I collaborated with Dion. And just again, Lance, just showing that we can trade, we can collaborate, and it's not
for sure.
Listen, Corey, me and Corey talk about that. Like, yo, when y'all get it, y'all got it. Like, y'all,
yeah,
the best traders we know are all women. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, like, you know, and I know a lot of amazing traders, but I don't know what it is. Y'all got better discipline, or I don't know.
Y'all able to take ego out of it more, I think.
That's possible.
That's true, because I'll be ready to rumble spy like it be talking dirty to me, like it's a person.
My ego is crazy. Like, yo, I'm gonna bang this joint in the head for 500%. Like, I'll be going nuts. I'll be up 100%. Like, man, I ain't getting out of this tree. I don't care.
See, but that's why having Chastity in our corner helped, right? She told me today. She said
you've been in my ear about getting out. You've been in my ear for years about getting out, and I'll be like, man. I'm like, F that, man. We going home run. We ain't hitting no singles. We going Mark McGuire or we going strike out. We going like I'm hitting 1,000 or I'm hitting none. Like I was wilding, but you know, y'all got me on the trading plan. Y'all got me to look at these charts. Y'all got because you know I do a lot of analysis when I'm looking at trades. So I'm like, look, I know what this trade going to do because I've studied this joint forever. And so once I get into the trade, ain't nothing you gonna tell me about my analysis that I'm gonna want to hear because I done did all of the legwork. I done did all of the studying and I sat down with the, you know, and looked at it. But then when y'all got me to sit down, like, all right, look, you wilding out here, Kimosabi, you out here doing the most. Like, you know, take a look at a chart every now and then. You know, you might, you know, you can take them time frames down from, you know, because when I was taught how I was told to trade is, you know. If you get 30% a month on a certain amount of money, you can make a lot of money and you don't have to do nothing. Right. You know what I mean? But, you know, we taking 30% a day out the market. That's a whole different animal. I'm like, damn. I watched a trader in our circle make $19,000 in like 4 minutes. I was like, damn, I got, you know, I'm doing way too little. I not that I'm doing too, I'm doing not enough. And so it made me, you know, it made me rethink a lot of what I was doing. You know, y'all helped me a lot with that. And like I said, you're the first person to actually get me to sit down and look at a chart, because your chart ain't hit like look like it was firing off rockets. Like I
You know, that spaghetti.
yeah, like I be
spaghetti.
watching people charts. I be like, man, that joint look like salad. I can't look at that.
Well, Chaz, let me ask you this question, Chaz. What do you think is the biggest misconception people have that, you know, get into trading when you talk to them? It's like, what do you think is their biggest misconception about trading?
It's like a couple of things. Well, one is gambling. So that's at first the misconception, and I talk them through that. You know, we're not gamblers, and I even tell people we're not traders anymore. We're capital managers. And once you change your mindset about what you're doing, I'm like, the setup I teach you and your trading plan is no longer gambling. Now it's gambling when you don't follow that plan, and I give you specific directions to follow, and you follow those and execute them. It's no longer gambling. It's almost like you say, cheating. I feel like I'm doing something illegal, but I can get up and there's no competition. Other people think I don't have enough money to start. And I've shown a trade that literally went from $4 to $47. So I ask people, give me some more excuses. I can show where a trade can go, and it's in the money. It is within my trading criterion, and you don't have a lot of money, have to have a lot of money to do that. And again, that's why I put up the receipts I show. You don't have to have a lot of money to do this. This is not gambling. And my youngest student is 12. So he can do it, not to say anybody's slower than anybody else, but he's 12.
Yeah.
If he can learn it, you can put in a little work or a little due diligence and learn it as well. Now, most of people say, I can't do it. I can't learn something new at this stage. So that's why I came up with that trifecta of SPY, Tesla, and Ford for people who say they can't, or I don't know how to read chart. Follow this, and you can do this without finding 50 tickers in the market, without trying to learn the screeners, without trying to learn every indicator. You've seen the chart. It's naked.
It's naked. Yeah. Listen, you turn me into a chart snob. Like, I love my charts now. I've done a 180, but I'll tell you one thing that's had an impact on my business, right? So everybody knows I'm a real estate guy. They say real estate and Bitcoin is Jimmy's thing, right? Which is true. But learning your system, right, has me rethinking pretty much everything, right? And what I mean by that is this: it's not that I'm never getting. I love my rental real estate, but what it has allowed me to do is to be picky about the deals I take, right? So now I have to buy it way under market, and I have to get like a perfect deal. Like, instead of taking every deal that comes, now I get to be picky and choose which real estate deal I want, because I'm able to generate the same cash flow from my cell phone. So now I don't have to like look at everything that comes across my desk. I could be very, very picky. And that's one of the powerful things about multiple streams of income. And when you have a skill set, I can take a whole day off and not go in the market, and then I could wake up one day and say, okay, what am I going to do? And what you taught me was to make money both ways, right? Up and down. So, it's very powerful. So, I can't say enough about what Chas has put together, what her system looks like. If you guys want to know what it is, I'm going to make sure I put the links to everything that you have going on within the description of the show. But Core, man, you got anything else before we get out of here, good brother?
Just, thank you for being part of our, letting us, help shape the future of other people, right? Because we, you came to us, and like you said, it was free, it was something free we gave away, and you came into our community on something free, and then from that point on, you just took off like a rocket, like like a rocket. And so I'm super, super, super amazed at the place from where you came to where you are. Like, I literally seen the transformation. So yeah. I'm amazed. Like, thank you.
I'm very proud.
Thank you for being part of our.
I'm very proud.
Our circle.
And that's why I'm glad you're doing what you're doing, because you're going to see people do the same thing. Like, you never know what kind of genius is behind someone, right? You have all this training in the medical field.
She did all the work.
Yeah, but learning that part in the beginning, and this is what I mean, how everything leads up to this. That training with data and statistics That's why I asked you that. I know it helps you with what you do now. So you just unlock something else because it was put in front of you, and now you're putting it in front of other people. You don't know what kind of genius you'll unlock. You just talked about a 12-year-old kid. That's powerful. Like you're literally changing people's lives, which is why we wanted to have you on, give you your flowers, also share your story and make other people aware, that may be in Memphis, may not be in Memphis, because you can get a consult with Chaz no matter where you are in the world. But we love everybody from Memphis because for some reason Bodyhood is very popular in Memphis. Like, we popping in Memphis. So,
something about what we say and how we say pop
yeah,
off.
I mean, hey, listen, that's because black folks love us, and Memphis got a lot of our people. So it is what it is, though.
But I'll tell you this: I had one client just tell me, like you say, reaching so many people. She was like, "I'm coming for your spot. I want to be better than you." That was the proudest thing I ever heard. Most people would take it as a disrespect. I'm like, sis, come step on it. Come get on the neck. Like, we are doing this. Like, don't feel like, oh, I can't show this or I can't be better. I can't be great. This is not a competitive market. I can throw a play and all 20 of us, 28 of us in our group can take that same play, and we're not taking money out of any of us pockets. We took it out of the pocket.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, there's no competition.
No, it really isn't. In fact, I want people to get better than me because all I'm gonna do is pick their brain. I want to surround myself with people smarter than me. Like, who wants to be the smartest person in the room? You in the wrong room, right? So I want people to surpass anything that I have because I'm gonna lean on them. Like, that's what that's what the real knowledge is. Yeah, like Anyway, with that being said, I just want to say
one more thing, Corey. You said you watch me. Like, I literally was in Bodyhood from the start of the MDC to the end. I pulled up every Sunday. I'm watching these charts. I'm going back every Sunday. Like, people don't realize I put in a lot of work. Every Sunday I'm in there, and then every Sunday I'm reworking the play. And if I couldn't afford the play, I tried to find a similar play that I can run with the same ethic. So the work y'all got off at Sunday at noon, and I'm probably still looking for trades till 3. Like, I'm still in here looking at the chart, seeing where they got, replaying the episode. So you put in the work, or you pay somebody that's smarter than you to give you the
No, but listen, I can co-sign that. So for folks that don't know, we do a Sunday class in our Bodyhood University as well as our MDC group, and Chas is there every Sunday. From the first day we started doing it, she was there every Sunday. And also now she's reached a status where she's like one of the panelists. She comes on when she has time, and she's one of the panelists on our Sunday class. Giving her breakdown of what she's looking at. So, like, watching your journey it's actually been inspiring too. It's inspired me to get really, jump in and get this bread every day. So, I just want to say thank you, and make sure you share this episode with all the folks that didn't believe you when you told them what you were going to do, like, because you're doing your thing right now. You know what I mean?
I am.
So, yeah, so we're going to share it for the folks that want to know more about Chas and what she's got going on. Maybe want to get a consult. Like she said, she's very affordable, but it'll be well worth it. We're going to put all of her information in the show notes so you can reach out to her, and just say, hey, look, I heard you on Bodyhood. I want to get more information, and we'll go from there. And Chas, listen, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
We'll definitely have you back in the future. We're going to talk every day. I'm going to bother you every day anyway. So,
you ain't getting away from us.
Yeah, that's right. We family.
Yeah, I'm going to have you give me a property. I need to get this real estate.
Listen. I got some bandos all over the place. If you want bandos, I got a list of bandos.
Right, listen, we'll talk offline. But for everybody out there, as we always say, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much you keep. Game elevates, and we shall see all you guys in our next episode. Peace.